And welcome back to the another episode of Daily Quiz for IAS Prelims 2025. It is 12th October today, and in this video we are going to derive the prelims based questions from these important articles which are mentioned on this slide. You know, before we will start our discussion, I would like to introduce this initiative to you guys if you are new to this channel. Every day in this video we discuss three types of questions. The first set of questions which we discuss here are taken from from the current affairs topics. Every day we take up the most important articles from the newspapers. We break them down into the simplest language possible and try to derive the prelims based questions from those articles so that it will give you the idea how the questions can be framed from the newspapers or news articles or the current affairs. Then the another set of questions which we discuss here is from the static portion. If you know, we had started to discuss the static topics here in this video, and we had started with Indian polity, and today we are going to discuss the article 17 as we are discussing the fundamental rights. So today we are going to derive a prelims based question from article 17. After that, we will go to the last part of our discussion where we will discuss few previous year questions so that it will give the idea how actually the paper do look in the exam, and by how we can solve those questions. We will try to find out the ways and methods by which we can solve those questions, and also how to implement that knowledge in the upcoming exam. So this is all about this initiative. you know if you would had seen the newspapers today, as Hindu did not publish today's newspaper and we did not upload it yesterday's video, so the articles which are in here are from the yesterday's newspaper, as we did not upload it yesterday's video, so we are going to discuss that today. Now, before we will start, I would like to request you guys few things. First of all, please do watch the full video. Do watch the video till the end. You know, these this video is going to be very much important for you. It is worthy to watch, as I already told you that the way we are taking the questions from the static portion from the current affairs and from the previous year questions too. So this is the same source from where the UPSC is going to make their question papers. So there are good chances that many statements in these questions at least will make coincide with the questions which they are going to ask. So being on the safer side, I prefer you to please watch the full video and try to grab as much knowledge as possible. And second thing which I want to mention here is please do note down these questions somewhere with you, or at least take the screenshot of these questions which we are going to discuss here. The reason for that is, when your exams would be near and you would want to revise the current affairs, but in the limited time period it gets very much difficult to revise the current affairs. So if you have these questions with you at that time, you would just read these questions would connect you with the current affairs, as well as it will boost your confidence before entering the exam hall, and it will definitely help you in in clearing your exam. So please do note down these questions. These are going to be very much important for you. And also please do subscribe the channel and share it with your friends so that they may also get benefited from this initiative. And also do write in the comments what else should we bring for you guys. Now, without any delay, let's have a look at the context of the questions which we are going to discuss from the next slide. Let's get a basic context and then let's try to solve those questions. The first article which was in the news yesterday was about how can India escape middle income trap. To understand this, we need to know what this middle income trap is. Usually countries, the countries, low income countries, they tend to grow their economy. They try to reach to the high income level. So there is a transition phase from low income to the high income, that is the middle income level, where they reach while they are aiming for the high income level. But unfortunately, when they reach the middle income level, they get trapped there, because the growth, the expected growth they see, they think of does not, that growth is not in line with the population of the country, or what they had thought of achieving the growth, they are not able to get it. The growth gets stagnated, the income of the people gets stagnated. So this condition of an economy is often defined as the middle income trap. So with respect to this, why we are discussing this topic here, because recently the World Bank, they published the World Development Report 2024. We need to know this because UPSC may ask such questions. World Development Report 2024 was published by whom? It is published by World Bank, and this report mentioned several countries are in the middle income trap, and India is one among them. And the reasons for that, how it defines the middle income trap is growth starts stopping or it may drop, and also income stagnates, slowdown of growth, and average income don't increase, average income of the people don't increase. And this also gives the criteria how you can identify a country which is in the middle income trap. According to the World Bank, if a country has per capita income of 11% of the US, those countries are in the middle income, and if they get trapped there, then it is called a middle income trap. So according to this article, the author then says how we can get out of this middle income trap, how a country can get out of this middle income trap. They have to go for the 3 I's. What are these 3 I's? 3 I approach. The first one is investment. The private sector should more invest in it. Second, the infusion of the technologies, and the third, they should go for the innovation. So these are the 3 I's which the country should focus on, and by getting more private sector involved in it, by infusing more technology and going for the innovation, the countries could come out of this middle income trap. And finally, the author in this article, he tried to give us examples of two major countries or organize. One is organization and another is the country, how they escaped from this middle income trap. First, he mentioned of the European Union, but this example does not suit India because it was the efforts of EU that led these European countries out of the middle income trap. And the South Korea, which according to the author does suit India, because South Korea, what they did, they invested more in the companies which were profit giving, and those who were dying, they let them die. So their approach was in a different way. They invested in the companies who were performing very well, and because of those companies, the South Korea went out of the middle income trap. So this is what the article author here tries to say, that we should invite more private sector into the innovation. We should invest more in it, and by the help of this private sector, we can definitely get out of this middle income trap. So with respect to this, I think this is the proper context of this news article which was yesterday in the newspaper. And by discussing this, I hope you had got the basic idea, and in the next slide we will try to solve the questions. Then the another article here is about the delays in Indian judiciary. As it is said, justice delayed is justice denied. In our judiciary there is huge burden of the case, especially in the lower judiciary. There are adjournments or adjournments, tariq pe tariq, you would have heard of that. And recently we saw that how the president of India, how she called a new term, how she made a new term called the black coat syndrome, which means that how people are secured of going to the courts, as they don't feel that, as according to them, they are not trusted, courts are not trustworthy. They feel that if they will go to the courts, they will have to invest a huge amount of money, and they are not guaranteed justice from there. So according to the president, there is a need that these the courts should proactively take care of these things, and there should be much interaction between the people and the courts, and the justice should be given as possible, as soon as possible. And with respect to this, if we look at our courts, we have the time frame, we have the time framework under which the cases should be solved, but unfortunately they are not followed by the judges, neither by the litigants. So there can be many approaches by which this issue can be solved, and there can be many approaches given with respect to this, and that we can discuss in in the those approaches, as they were not mentioned in the article itself, but we can discuss them when we will reach at the judiciary reforms in the judiciary. We will definitely discuss that in our static portion, and if such articles do come in the newspapers, we will discuss that too. For the question which we are going to discuss in next slide, I guess this much is enough for the context to build your basic context of the question which is necessary. Then after that there was another article. It is about the Bonari Bari Puja. It is a traditional puja which started way back 400 to 500 years in the West Bengal, especially in Kolkata. It is the elite puja, we can say, a Durga Puja in Kolkata. It was, celebrated by the zamindars in their households. Started in their households. They started to follow the Durga Puja, and it is a in a very huge manner. It even highlighted the class division, as they did not allow the lower class people to enter this puja. They did not let lower class people to perform this. So this Bonadi Bari Puja becomes important for us because we need to know where it is celebrated. UPSC can ask such questions in the exam. After that there is another article about the horseshoe crab. It is considered as a marine living fossil. It helps us, this horseshoe crab. It goes back in the history of 500 300 to 400 billion years, and it helps us to understand and understand and understand and improve how marine life has improved over the time. It gives us that understanding of the evolution. you know if we look at how their distribution is, they are distributed around the world. They lay millions of eggs on the coastline, and it is fed by millions of creatures in the marine system. Today they have been threatened in under the IUCN Red List. There are different types of horseshoe crab. For example, American type in under IUCN, that is vulnerable. Then we have tri-spine horseshoe, which is mostly found in our regions. They are endangered under the IUCN list. After this, there was another article. It is about the Hizbul Tahrir. It is an they proclaimed that they are a social group it is active in the Tamil Nadu region. But recently, the Home Ministry under the UAPA, they framed them as a terror organization. So we need to know about it. Then there is another article. It is about the Hurricane Milton. As it has devastating effect on the east coast of the North America, Florida. So we need to know where does it impact, and we need to know more about it when we will solve the question. After that, there is another article. It is about the static port in Ukraine, which is, as Russia has attacked recently the most strategic port in the Ukraine, and that is Odessa port. It's Russia has struck it. And one important thing about is that this Odessa port in Ukraine, it was the part of the Black Sea Grain Initiative. In this Black Sea Grain Initiative, it is a agreement signed between Russia and Ukraine, and it was mediated by Turkey, that Russia would not attack these strategic ports in the Ukraine, as they are very much important for the food and security. But Russia recently broke away from this Black Sea Grain Initiative, and they had attacked this strategic port, which is Odessa. We need to know where it is located. After discussing the questions with respect to these important articles which were in the news, we will go to the article 17 and solve that, and finally we will solve a few previous year questions and complete our video. With this, I hope you had got the basic idea what was in the news. The purpose of this slide especially is to give the basic idea what was in the news. If you had not read the newspaper, then I hope you had got this basic idea. Now with this, let's try to solve the questions one by one and get as much information as possible. Here the first question is, which of the following statements best describe the middle income trap? It is a directly question on the middle income trap. Let's try to understand that. It says it refers to a situation where a country's economic growth stagnates after reaching middle income status. preventing it from transitioning to high income status. Correct. This is what we understood from it. It gets stagnated, the economic growth gets stagnated. Second, it is characterized by a decline in per capita income due to high inflation rates. So this is the catch here. There can be the decline, there is the decline of per capita income, but it's not due to the high inflation rates. So it is not always due to the high inflation rates, and you know, and due to high and economic mismanagement we can say, but or not always due to high inflation rates. This finally leads to, this can lead to the high inflation, but itself it is not caused by the high inflation rates. So this is incorrect statement. Third statement, countries in this trap experience rapid population growth that outpaces economic development. 100% correct, leading to increased poverty levels. 100% correct. Fourth, it primarily affects low income countries that are unable to attract foreign investment. This itself, this statement itself is incorrect, because it does not impact the low income countries. Then it would have not been called the middle income trap. It primarily affects the middle income countries, so not the low income countries. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are statement 1 and statement 3 only, and from the code given below, the correct option would be option B, which is 1 and 3 only. With this, I hope you had got the basic idea what this middle income trap is. As in the first slide we discussed what can be the 3 ways we can a country can get out of this middle income trap by following 3 I's, which is investment, innovation, and what was the another term, which and infusion. These three, by following these 3 terms, a country can get away from this. And finally, further the article discussed about it, discussed that how we can follow the South Korea's model, how they went away from the middle income trap by investing more in the private, by letting the private by incentivizing the private sector, and because of the private sector, that country went away from the middle income trap. Now with this, let's move to the another question and try to understand. Here the question says, recent the black coat syndrome was mentioned by the President of India in the context of the judiciary. Which of the following statements correctly reflects the implication of this term? First statement, that it refers to the perception that the judicial processes are slow and cumbersome, leading to public frustration. Yes, it refers to that. Second, it highlights the disconnect between the judiciary and the common citizens, often resulting in a lack of trust in the legal system. 100% correct. Third, it signifies the need for more transparency and accountability within the judiciary system to enhance public confidence. No, it actually defines that how the judiciary is perceived by the people. It does not give any solution to that. So even though it is the solution of the black coat syndrome, but as here what term refers to it, it is not the basic reference. It is not what we understand from the black coat syndrome, but it is what the conclusion can be. What can be the way forward of the black coat syndrome. So this is incorrect. Fourth statement, it emphasizes the necessity for judiciary reformers to improve access to justice for marginalized community. It is also incorrect, because it is also the solution to it. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are option 1 and option 2 only. With this, I hope you had understood it. Now let's move to the another question and try to solve that. Here the question is about Bone di Bari Puja. It is a significant cultural and religious event celebrated primarily in which of the following states of India? It is directly West Bengal. As we saw, it is mostly celebrated in Kolkata. So with respect to this question, the correct statement is option A. With this, let's move to the another question. Here it is about the horseshoe crab. It says, which of the following statements regarding the horseshoe crab are correct? First statement, horseshoe crabs are considered living fossils. 100% correct. With a lineage dating back over 450 million years. 100% correct. They are classified as true crabs and belong to the class Melacostraca. No, it is incorrect. They belong to the Merostomata. And here we had the answer to that. Third, Horseshoe crab blood is valuable for medical application due to its unique properties in detecting bacterial endotoxins. 100% correct. Fourth, they are primarily found in freshwater habitats. Now they are found in the marine and shallow water habitats. So this is also incorrect. With respect to this question, the correct statements are option 1 and option 3. And from the code given below, the correct answer is option A, which is 1 and 3 only. With this, let's move to the another question and try to solve that. Here the question says Hizbul Tahrir, a recently designated terror group by Home Ministry, is active in which Indian state or UT? Is it Jammu Kashmir? No. Is it Lakshadweep? No. Is it Andaman and Nicobar Islands? No. Is it Tamil Nadu? 100% correct. This organization, which is designated as terror group by the Home Ministry, is active in the Tamil Nadu. With respect to this, let's move to the last question from the current affairs. It says the Odisha port recently seen in news is located in which country? India? No. Poland? No. Russia? No. Ukraine? Yes, 100%, as it was attacked by the Russia. This port was under the black grain. This port was under the under what? It was under the Black Sea Grain Initiative, which was signed between Russia and Ukraine, but recently Russia went away from this initiative, from this agreement. With this, I hope you had understood the questions which we had discussed here, and also you had got the context of the news, which was very much essential. After that, let's move to the next part of our discussion, which is discussing the static topic question here. As today we have to discuss about the Article 17 of the Indian Constitution. This is a very small article, nothing much can be discussed in it. Here, let's try to solve the question directly and get the knowledge as soon as possible, as much as possible. Here, Article 17 of the Indian Constitution addresses which of the following issues? Abolition of untouchability, 100% correct. Protection against discrimination on grounds of religion, incorrect. Prohibition of human trafficking, incorrect. Equal right to equality before law, this is also incorrect. So with respect to this question, the correct statement is abolition of untouchability. Giving equal status to every citizen in the India. Usually we had, unfortunately our country was involved in this great socially unexpected thing that there was untouchability was prevailing in our country, and by Article 17 it has been totally abolished. But this article itself is not absolute, it can be restricted for the certain reasons. For example, during pandemic when there was COVID-19, at that time, those people who had the infection were told to go for the quarantine. That cannot be, they cannot go to court that there is the violation of Article 17. It can be, it can be, this article can is not, it can be restricted for certain reason for security purposes also. But in overall context, this has been, this is what it says. It is against the abolition of untouchability. Untouchability is abolished and its practice in any form is forbidden. The enforcement of any disability arising out of untouchability shall be an offensible punishment under law. And with respect to this Article 17, there are two important legislations related to Article 17. One is the Protection of Civil Rights Act 1955 and the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act of 1989. So these are the two important legislations which were brought under Article 17. With this, I hope you had got the basic idea and you had understood the question. Now with this, let's move to the last part of our discussion, which is solving the previous year questions. Here the first question says, who among the following was not associated with the formation of UP Kisan Sabha? The question says, who among the following was not associated with the formation of UP Kisan Sabha in Feb 1918. Indra Narayan Dwivedi, he was very much in support of this, in the formation of this. Gauri Shankar Misra, he was also. Madan Mohan Malviya, he supported it, but Jawaharlal Nehru was not the part of it, so he was not associated with the formation of UP Kisan Sabha in Feb 1918. So with respect to this question, the correct statement is option C. as these Indra Narayan Dwivedi and Gauri Shankar Mishra and Mohan Malviya were in very much favor, in very much support. They were very much associated with the formation of the UP Kisan Sabha. Now coming to the last question after the discussion, it says which party was founded by Subhash Chandra Bose in the year 1939 after he broke away from the Congress? Is it Indian Freedom Party? No. Is it Azad Hind Fauj? No. Is it Revolutionary Front? No. Is it Forward Bloc? 100% correct. So with respect to this, the correct option is option D. With this, we complete today's discussion. I hope you would like the video. I hope you would share it with your friends. I hope you would subscribe the channel if you had not subscribed it yet. With this, thank you very much. Have a nice day. Best of luck. See you tomorrow.